Are you looking for a desirable, well-established neighborhood that won't break the bank when moving to San Antonio, Texas? One that has easy access to roads, amenities, great schools, and just a ton of things for you and your family to do while you're living here? Well, you're in luck, because in this video, we're going to Northwest Crossing that's in the northwest part of San Antonio and offers all of those things. After this video, you'll be able to decide whether or not this is the right place for you and your family. And did I mention the homes are less than the average price of the San Antonio market? And who doesn't want to save a few bucks? All right, so if that's the kind of information that you want, stick around because we're going to get to it right now. Hey, how are you? My name is Jesse Lopez. I'm the owner of Blue Utopia Realty here in San Antonio. I help families just like you relocate from other parts of the United States and the world to San Antonio, Texas. I love doing it because I served 23 years in the military and I did numerous moves and I didn't have that much help. So my pledge to you is to help you make it a smooth move to San Antonio and help you and your family find the perfect place. So if that's the kind of information that you're looking for here on YouTube, click on the subscribe button down below and tap on that bell so you're notified every single time I put out new content. All right, so let's talk about Northwest Crossing. So Northwest Crossing is actually the best kept secret in San Antonio. Now, I know there's a lot of people on YouTube trying to show you different places to live, and the problem with that is most of these people did not grow up here like I did, so they're not going to tell you about these gems that are going to save you money but put you in a real good place. So when I get clients call me, they always tell me the same thing. I want a safe neighborhood with great schools and a ton of amenities. Well, guess what? This is the neighborhood. This is the one that covers it all. And the average home price, believe it or not, is about $270,000. Now, here in San Antonio, currently the general area in San Antonio, the average home price is actually closer to $400,000. So what a steal, right? Now, homes in this area, they go pretty quick. So there's not a lot of homes to choose from, but it's because so many people know that it's a great neighborhood and that they're not going to have to pay an arm and a leg for the house. So like I mentioned, the Northwest Crossing is about 21 minutes from the airport. So if you have to travel in and out, if that's something that you do for business, then you're going to be about 20 minutes away from the airport. And if you like the downtown scene and you want to go downtown, that's going to be about 23 minutes from here to downtown San Antonio. So when you get to downtown San Antonio, you can enjoy all kinds of downtown living, all kinds of shows, you know, the Riverwalk and all those other things that you've heard so much about in San Antonio. Now, what borders the neighborhood? So there's the main streets are going to be Loop 1604, Loop 410, and then Bandera Road, which is also State Highway 16 and Highway 151. That pretty much borders the entire neighborhood and everything's enclosed in it. Now, who lives here? Well, the median home price, like I told you, is about $270,000, and the average household income is about $83,000. So it's a wide range of people that live here, anything from professionals to managers of places. Some of the biggest employers around this area is the medical center. So if you're a medical professional, that's only about 7 miles away. So if you want to live in a nice neighborhood but don't want to live in the medical center, because I did a video, you can look at it right here, about the medical center and some of the problems that they have there, which is crime. This is a great alternative. If you are going to work at USAA, which is another big employer here in Texas or in San Antonio, this is a great neighborhood. A lot of my clients live in this neighborhood and worked at USAA. So it's a small world, I know, but if those aren't the places you're going to work, other areas that are around here that do employ a lot of people is going to be SeaWorld of Texas and also Six Flags. So those two are on opposite ends. One is more towards 1604 and I-10, and the other one is by 1604 and Highway 151. But those are the main things that are around here. Of course, like I said, the medical center, downtown, like this, just you're in such close proximity to everything here in the northwest side of San Antonio. If you like shopping, you're gonna love it. La Cantera is also by Six Flags, which is on 1604 and 410, and they have all the high-end shops. They have Prada, they have Tiffany jewelry, they have, you know, all the I just bought a Louis Vuitton for my wife at for Christmas at the La Cantera. So there's all kinds of things to do there. There's some high-end shopping, there's some high-end restaurants, so you're not going to need anything, and that's probably about a 10-minute drive from here. So this is a perfect location to live, and again, being to where you don't have to really spend too much money for a home. So speaking of the homes, what kind of homes are here? Well, there's a traditional type of home, usually has brick or stone, and there are some ranch style homes as well. You find a mix of 2-story homes, 1-story homes, but the majority of the homes that are in this neighborhood are going to be single family homes. You do have an option to look for a condo or a townhome, but they only represent about 1 to 3% of the available homes here in Northwest Crossing. Another one is apartments. If you're an apartment, you want to live in an apartment, then there's about 17% of the housing here in Northwest Crossing is going to be apartment living. So those options are available to you too. Now, some of the things that are important when you move to a place, at least I know when I moved from city to city while I was serving in the Air Force, were the schools. If you have a family, schools are very important to you, right? And you know, it's not just important whether you have kids or not, because if you buy a home here and then let's say in 6 or 7 years you want to move and you want to sell that home, being in the right school district is also critical, because more than likely the person buying your home is going to have children. So let's cover the schools. Now, these are all according to niche.com as far as the ratings for the schools. Now, the high school that mainly services this area is Warren High School, and Warren High School got a rating of B+ according to niche.com. Now, you can go to niche.com and you can see any school and you can see all the different parameters that they use to rate these, but a B+, that's not too bad. I mean, it's not an A+, but you know what? It's not a D or a C, which is a lot of the schools here in San Antonio you're going to find gravitate more towards the C's and D's than the A's and B's. So Warren High School is the main one. You also have other schools, which is Holmes High School and Taft High School, but depending on what part of Northwest Crossing you live in is going to dictate what school you go to. For the middle school, you have Connolly Middle School, and that one got a rating of B, again, which is not bad. A's and B's are pretty good in San Antonio. At least it's not going towards the C's and D's. However, the elementary school, Northwest Crossing, did get a C+ rating. Now, I'm not sure, you can go onto niche.com and check it out, see what they're saying, but a lot of these schools, even though they get a C rating, it's, I think, more because of parent involvement. So if you're very involved in your child or your children's education, like we are, my wife and I are always talking to our son's teacher, and we're involved. We help out in the classroom and that kind of stuff. Well, I think that makes a big difference. But if those aren't options for you and you're looking for an absolute A or A+ school to send your children to, then the school that you want to send your child to is Scenic Hills Christian School. This is a kindergarten through 12th grade private school. It sits on Bandera Road, which is on the outskirts of the neighborhood, and they have an A+ rating. The tuition there is going to run you about $5,500 a year, which is not bad. I just did another video for another neighborhood, and the tuition for those schools were anywhere from $12,000 to $14,000 a year. Now that's big money. So $5,500, I know it's a lot of money, but you know what? For an A+ education for your child, it's really just a drop in the bucket. If that's not the one that you want, a second option is Shepherd of the Hills, and that one is just a kinder through 8th grade, so you still have to go through high school afterwards, and that one is a little bit more expensive. That one, the tuition is $7,600 a year, and that sits kind of on the southwest border of the neighborhood. So there are options if public school's not for you, and honestly there's a ton of other options. Those are just the ones that are within the community. You can go to different areas, and it's going to cost you different. That's just something that I would definitely research. Again, niche.com is a good resource. Go in there, take a look at the schools, see what you can find, and what's near this area. Remember, you're only paying $270,000 average for a home here, and this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home that is either lined with brick or rock. So for that price, you can spend a little bit more on the education. At least that's what I would do. So I already mentioned some of the points of interest that are around here, and they're also the biggest employers, which is SeaWorld of Texas and Fiesta Texas, or Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Those are two big attractions that a lot of people come to San Antonio and visit for the weekend or for the week, and they head out to those areas. And that's something that you can do if you'd like, but if you're not big into the theme parks, there's a lot more to do here in Northwest Crossing. Like, I'm sitting in a park right now, and there's over 12 parks in the neighborhood. Some of them have trails that the city of San Antonio did a really good job of taking the washout areas, I guess that's what you call them. They're dry riverbeds which don't get filled up until it rains. They took those areas which were pretty useless, and what they did is they ended up putting trails on them. They put concrete, pads, so you can drive bicycles and all that stuff. So if you're outdoorsy and you want to be outdoors, there's going to be a lot of options where you can go into these trailheads and you can ride these trails either in your bicycle, you can run, you can walk your dog. It just depends on what you want to do. And if you're a reader and you want to come out to this, a park like this and just read a book, I mean, listen to this. You can hear the birds chirping. Like, we're in San Antonio, like proper, right? Like, it's the city around us, but this kind of reminds me of Central Park. Like, you're in a big city, but if you just listen, you can hear the birds chirping and you can feel the nature all around you. Another big park that's around here is O.P. Schnabel Park. So that one is a much bigger park. There's a lot of neighborhood parks like this one that are all over the neighborhood, but O.P. Schnabel Park, you can go biking there, you can go hiking, you can, there's all kinds of stuff to do there. I believe there's baseball diamonds, and so you could play baseball. So all kinds of sports. If you're outdoorsy, then this is a perfect place. Actually, one of my clients bought a home like 3 blocks from here, and the one reason that got her to buy this home is her and her husband like to ride bicycles, and I told them about the trails and the trailheads, and they're like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, no, like, you can ride to your heart's content. And that's exactly what they do. They jump on their bicycles every weekend and they just ride the trails, have a good old time. What a win, right? Like, that's just awesome. So again, if you like the outdoors and you like to, hike, bike, or do anything like that, then this is going to be a pretty good spot for you. Now, everything seems to be like too good to be true, right? So you're probably thinking, well, Jesse, what about the crime? Like, is there a lot of crime in this area? And I'm happy to report that there isn't. Like, the national average on a scale of 1 to 10 is 4, and this neighborhood has 3s and 4s for crime. So you're not going to find it's not going to be crime ridden. You're not going to hear first responders every second of the day. Like, I lived in a neighborhood where there was gunshots every day and there was always sirens and all kinds of stuff. So this is not that place, which is, again, one of the reasons I think that this is just a hidden gem that a lot of people don't know about. And I just wanted to bring it to you because this is definitely a great place for a home. Even if, let's say, you're moving to San Antonio and you just don't know where to live yet, like, you want to feel it out, I would say, instead of going to rent an apartment, I would buy a home in this neighborhood. And then when you find the area you absolutely love, this could be a rental property. But let me tell you, most people that move into Northwest Crossing are not renters. There's a 65 to 35 split. So 65% of the people who live here are homeowners, and just leaving 35% that are renters. So what does that tell me? Well, as a real estate professional, that tells me that people love this area. They love to move in here and they stay. Now, why do they stay? Well, San Antonio is pretty recession proof, so home values continue to rise no matter what's going on in the world. The world was on fire, our prices rose our values rose about 35% during COVID, but year over year, we raised maybe about 4 to 6% in value every year, and I think that's one of the reasons why people stay here. So that client that I told you, her and her husband like to ride bicycles. When they bought their home, they bought it for $189,000, and that home today is worth about $280,000, and it's only been about 4 years. So that's a pretty good return on their investment. That's why I'm saying if you're moving to San Antonio and you're not sure, then this is a great option to buy a home here. And then once you find your dream home, you could either sell it for a profit, or you could rent it to somebody and they just pay down your mortgage. So those are the kind of things that you find in this neighborhood. But I've been talking a lot, and I think you really want to hit the road and start to see what the houses really look like and what the neighborhood looks like, because that's going to sell you, or that's going to help you make your mind up whether you like this place or not. So let's go ahead and go jump in the truck and let's take a tour of the neighborhood. All right, guys. Well, as you can tell, the neighborhood is really solid. It looks nice, but you can't, or you don't take just my word for it. So here is some things that people said on Reddit, and you know how ruthless Reddit comments can be, but this is about the Great Northwest area. So it says, I live in 78250 within the Great Northwest HOA. I love it here. Traffic is always rough around the Alamo Ranch. However, you will learn to deal with it if you visit the shops there often. That was said by King Bribant. And then another one, it says 78250 here, and we absolutely love it. Off Gilbo and Tezo, no HOA, large lots, established neighborhoods with large oaks. And it just goes to show like what I've been talking about. This one is from 2-Bit Specialist. It says, my neighborhood is Hidden Village, right in that area you described. I lived here for 10 years and I've never really had any problems except for maybe speeding on Waybridge during non-peak hours. Northwest Crossing is right next door, but that's an HOA, so I can't say for certain. So he doesn't really live in Northwest Crossing. DWH 1996 says, figured I'd update with where we moved to from further searches. We found a house in 78251, so more West San Antonio than Northwest. We really like the neighborhood and feel that it's quite safe. We aren't close to a whole lot of local restaurants and things, but have easy access to a lot of commercial businesses that have everything that we need. It's convenient to get just around anywhere in San Antonio, as we are close to 410. Overall, really happy with where we are. And then this one is from Rouge 818. There are several different neighborhoods in the area and school ratings vary. I will take a look at the school ratings for each of the properties you're looking at. This would help get a better idea of the neighborhood. I've looked at houses in that area too and like the section closer to Gilbo, New Gilbo, more than the ones going south. You may also notice these neighborhoods sometimes look different from one street to another. The street could look nice and well maintained, but the next street may look a little deteriorated. So those are all comments that were of these areas here, and some of those comments are true. So what's my opinion about this neighborhood is definitely, if I were to give it a rating between 1 and 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, I would definitely give it a good 8 to 8.5. And the reason for an 8 or 8.5 is because I just have personal preference of living somewhere differently. It's nothing against the neighborhood, it's just more my preference. I'm more of a live somewhere close to downtown with walkability, which you don't have much walkability here. You are car dependent, so you would need a car to get to the outskirts of the neighborhood in order to get groceries and that kind of stuff. But there's a local shop right down the street here. It's a coffee shop that I really enjoy, and it's called Coffee Me Bad. I've gone there several times. I like the atmosphere. I like the the coffee, and it's just a good place to go. So you have a mix of those things like mom and pop stores, but you also have national chains that of different restaurants and stores that you could choose from. Everything is pretty close to you. Like there's nothing that is far out of reach that you can't, get to as far as shopping and all that goes. So this is a good neighborhood. Like I already mentioned, the housing market here is very strong and recession proof. So I just foresee that this neighborhood is going to continue to grow and is going to continue to appreciate in value. So if that's something that you're interested in, you want more information on that, do me a favor, just reach out to us. Send me a text, send me an email, send me a smoke signal. I promise you I will answer you. And yeah, if you want more videos about San Antonio, here's some more neighborhoods and some more videos. So we'll see you on the next video. And if you have any questions, please do me a favor, comment below so we can answer those questions. And then, yeah, have a good one. We'll see you on the next video.